They said Egypt's kings were humans, but when archaeologists uncovered this skeleton, nothing made sense. The bones were unusually long, the skull oddly shaped, and the height, over 6 feet 2 inches, massive for ancient Egyptians. Some whispered, this wasn't a man, this was something else. When researchers compared the bones to other royal mummies, the results didn't match. The bone density was different. The proportions were different. Even the spinal structure was off. The locals had one word, Nephilim, a race mentioned in old stories, giants that ruled before humans. Of course, scientists dismissed it, but as more evidence came forward, ignoring it became impossible, because the DNA test revealed markers never seen in any known Egyptian lineage, and all of it pointed back to one king, Saqqara, the forgotten ruler of Dynasty 3. Inside the abandoned mastaba where Saqqara's remains were found, strange carvings covered the walls, not hieroglyphics, not symbols used by any Egyptian kingdom. These symbols looked technological, geometric, almost engineered. One carving showed a tall figure, towering over normal-sized workers. Another depiction showed advanced objects, shaped like tools that shouldn't exist in that era. And in the center of the chamber, sealed under a stone slab, was something worse. A second skeleton, broken, bound, and positioned as if kneeling. Was this a servant? A sacrifice? Or someone punished for witnessing something forbidden? When researchers lifted the slab, dust rose from the darkness like breath. Something had been waiting there for thousands of years. Saqqara's skull had unusual ridges. His jaw was stronger than any typical human of his era. Even his limb bones were thicker. It was as if he belonged to a different species. A professor secretly admitted, "We don't have a category for this. He doesn't fit into human evolution." Then came the most disturbing part. When examining the inner layers of his bones, they found microscopic metallic particles, not natural, not environmental, inserted or absorbed. Why would a king from 4,600 years ago have metallic micro-traces in his bones? Unless he came from a bloodline that used technology lost to history. Or worse, he wasn't from this world at all. As the excavation continued, workers opened a small sealed compartment in the floor. Inside was a clay tablet wrapped in linen. The tablet contained a short message. "He came from the stars. He ruled by fear. Do not wake him again." At first, the team dismissed it as mythology. But the night the tablet was removed, strange sounds echoed inside the chamber, metallic taps, like footsteps. Sensors picked up vibrations underground. The workers fled. By morning, the team abandoned the entire site, and the Egyptian authorities quietly sealed it off. Whatever they discovered in that tomb, whatever Saqqara truly was, some mysteries are better left buried. Before the Great Pyramids, before Khufu, before the engineering Egypt became famous for, there was Djoser, a king whose monument still puzzles engineers today. The Step Pyramid. The world calls it a prototype, but ancient texts call it something else entirely. The Resurrection Tower, a place designed not for burial, but for activation. Every king has an architect, but Djoser had someone different, a man with knowledge far beyond his time, a man whose origins are still debated. Imhotep? He knew mathematics no one else mastered. He understood stone in ways modern builders still can't explain, and he engineered a structure so precise that even with modern tools, we struggle to recreate it. Some archaeologists whisper that Imhotep wasn't just a man, he was a surviving remnant of a forgotten civilization. Or worse, one of the beings Saqqara descended from. Under Djoser's step pyramid, explorers found a labyrinth of 11 square miles of tunnels. But one chamber stood out, a room carved with extreme precision, walls polished like glass, no soot, no torch marks, no signs of ancient lighting tools, and in the center, a large granite box, not a sarcophagus, a device. When researchers analyzed it, they found it resonated at a specific frequency, a vibration almost impossible for solid granite. It hummed quietly, like something waiting to be turned on. On a hidden wall, deep underground, protected by stone plugs, was a set of inscriptions unlike any other in Egypt. Not prayers, not hieroglyphics, not funerary texts. They were warnings. Only the chosen may ascend. Do not break the seal. Light beyond light is death. Scholars tried to translate the deeper meaning, but parts were deliberately erased. Someone, thousands of years ago, tried to hide information the world wasn't ready for. Ancient records say the step pyramid wasn't a tomb. It was used once a year during a secret ritual, a ritual involving sound, vibration, and something described as the breath of the sky. Priests would gather inside the chamber. Imhotep would stand at the center, and the granite box would begin to resonate. People outside reported a strange glow coming from the pyramid's peak, a light unnatural for that era. Some claim this was the moment Egypt first made contact with something non-human. Others say it was simply advanced technology we no longer understand. But after Djoser's death, the ritual stopped. Imhotep vanished. His tomb was never found. His records disappeared, and all attempts to recreate the ritual ended in disaster. In 2018, a team scanning beneath the step pyramid discovered an anomaly, a hidden chamber, perfectly square, perfectly silent, never opened since the pyramid was built. Inside, the radar showed a single object, a tall rectangular structure made from an unknown material. Not stone, not metal, something in between. When the Egyptian government saw the scan, they immediately shut the site down. The team was silenced. The chamber remained sealed, and to this day, no one knows what Djoser buried there. But one thing is certain, the step pyramid wasn't just the first pyramid. It was the first machine. A machine built for a king whose power didn't end with death, but began with something far older. After Djoser came a king even stranger, Sekhemkhet. His name barely appears in records. His face doesn't appear on temple walls. His achievements were removed from official lists. It's as if someone deliberately erased him. Why? Because Sekhemkhet started building something Egypt never wanted the world to know. The Buried Pyramid, hidden so deep under the desert that even modern technology struggles to map it. When archaeologists rediscovered Sekhemkhet's pyramid in 1952, something strange happened. Workers and researchers began collapsing without cause. Healthy people suddenly unable to breathe, their eyes burning as if they had inhaled chemicals that shouldn't exist. 3 died. The rest refused to continue. Officials called it ancient air, but experts said the symptoms matched exposure to radiation. Why would a 4,600-year-old tomb emit radiation? Unless it wasn't a tomb, unless it was protecting something that was never meant to be touched. At the heart of the pyramid, they found it. A sarcophagus completely sealed in a way never seen before. A sliding stone lid engineered so precisely it created a vacuum. No air could enter, no air could escape. It took 3 days to open. When the lid finally cracked, the room went silent. There was no body inside, not a bone, not a fragment, nothing. Just a strange scent, metallic, cold, artificial. And on the sarcophagus floor, a thin layer of powder, a powder scientists couldn't identify. Not organic, not mineral, something else, something manufactured. Egypt immediately halted the excavation. The pyramid was resealed. The site was fenced. Guards were placed around it, and Sekhemkhet's name vanished again. Like someone or something didn't want the world asking questions. In the 2020, leaked documents claimed something terrifying. Ground-penetrating radar detected another chamber beneath the sarcophagus, a chamber containing a single tall object, shaped like a column, with internal metallic structure and a faint electromagnetic signature. This means one thing: Sekhemkhet wasn't buried there. He was protecting something, an object older than Egypt, a relic not made by human hands, a device tied to the same ancient knowledge Imhotep used. Something powerful, something dangerous, something the world still isn't ready for. Dynasty 3 wasn't just a line of kings. It was the last dynasty with access to the old knowledge. Knowledge from a civilization that existed before the Nile kingdoms ever rose. A civilization lost in time. A civilization whose technology defies explanation. Djoser tried to activate it. Sekhemkhet tried to hide it. And Imhotep, he was the bridge between both worlds. Dynasty 3 wasn't the beginning of Egypt. It was the end of something far older. And the pyramids weren't built to honor kings. They were built to contain, protect, activate, and hide machines that were never meant for human hands. The truth isn't just buried under the sand. It's sealed inside stone, guarded by curses that aren't supernatural, but technological. And one day, if anyone opens the wrong chamber, Egypt's forgotten machines might awaken again.